may need you in her room.
Confirming presence of rogue variable. Dispensing data. There are 3 independent reports of Courser activity. Analysis completed based on target's activity pattern, location, and suspected trajectory. Conclusion. The Institute is actively looking for railroad assets. Stopgap solution. Terminate Courser threats whenever possible.
Seems logical to me.
This unit's logic circuits are fully functional. Target designated Courser Alpha is in a defended location with lower generation synth targets. Eliminate Courser variable, leaving no survivors. End of discussion.
Oh man, you were actually inside the Institute? That's insane. You, just you.
Hi.
Hey, I got everything you field agent types need. Even a few Tinker Time specialities.
You know what? Since we lost, I'm feeling swell. Look at us here in Sanctuary. Prepare for the future.
Some days are harder than others, but even the hard days get easier.
We're in some real trouble here. I hope you can help.
Hey there, friend. Look, we're in some real trouble. Maybe you can help.
I'd be glad to help if I can.
It's these damn greenskins, the super mutants. Whenever they come through, we just have to run away or hide. They take everything they can eat and destroy most everything else. And if they ever took us by surprise, we'd all be dead. We can't live like this. Please, you gotta help us.
I'll take care of those super mutants. I promise.
Oh, good. I didn't know what we were gonna do.
Life still ain't perfect. But we're surviving.
They didn't tell me.
Please, just... I need to be alone.
You know what I call a good day? One that ends without an empty stomach.
The brotherhood behind it. Never
No green stuff here. World is bigger than strong.
Hi, how are you?
Lost track of how many blisters I got.
worker could consider themselves sad simply someone threatened their life. Me?
Let's go get some bed.
Look at you. 2 centuries, and your skin's as smooth as a baby.
Yeah?
What's the angle here?
Piper.
Heading my way?
Sure, let's go.
Will do.
Hey,
Help yourself. Maybe constantly trying to kill us, but
Good to see you.
I wouldn't be here if not for your son.
I'm glad to see you return safely. I know the task was difficult, but I needed you to see firsthand how dangerous a rogue synth can be.
why do you care what happens on the surface? You're in your own world down here.
Because there are forces on the surface that could pose a threat to us, and only a fool ignores a possible threat. We might diminish that danger by correcting the false perception that we intend some great harm to mankind. But enough about that. The task is done, and you've returned our synth safely to us. I couldn't have hoped for a better outcome. Well done. While you were away, I had quarters prepared for you. You'll find all the basic necessities, as well as a generous stock of arms and equipment. Go and have a look. I think you'll be quite pleased.
Sir, we've had another situation. A code red.
What? This is the 3rd time in 2 weeks. This is unacceptable. How could this happen?
We think there was a system glitch. We're looking into it.
You're all useless. I'll figure out what it is. In the meantime, tell the others to be on high alert. I want more patrols and more rounds.
Right away, sir.
If you see anything even remotely suspicious, report it immediately. This absolutely cannot happen again. Got it?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Your new quarters are here, sir. Your new quarters are here, sir. When you're finished here, sir, Father wants to see you.
Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
That's a loaded question. What's been stolen from you?
Institute property is not often taken from us. We cannot react lightly when it happens. The group that calls themselves the Railroad have acquired several synths from the Institute. Synths that had gone missing in recent months. They no doubt mean to free these synths, in their delusion that synths are somehow sentient beings. You've been in contact with the Railroad, so you're aware of their misguided beliefs.
They mean well. They're only doing what they think is right.
You dealt with Libertalia. That's the result of their selfish, short-sighted plan. Usually they are a minor nuisance, but lately they have become more emboldened. I'm afraid we've reached the point where a response is necessary. We have learned the current location of these synths, and need to reacquire them before the Railroad can hide them.
I'm not sure why you'd bother.
Aside from taking back our property, we must teach them a lesson, as it were. And quickly at that. But it's important that we act on this soon, before the Railroad has any indication we've tracked them. We also don't want the Brotherhood of Steel getting wind of the presence of the synths. That would only complicate matters.
Seriously, this is a waste of my time.
Like many things at the Institute, this has ramifications beyond the immediate objective. Keep that in mind. A Courser will be waiting for you near Bunker Hill. You'll need him.
I just heard the most fascinating rumor. The story goes that you actually found the Institute. Been there and back again. Sounds crazy, right?
That sounds crazy, all right.
That's not a denial. Deacon has proof you used teleportation of all things to get inside the Institute. You must feel justifiably proud of what your Minutemen have achieved in such a short time. Eventually, the Minutemen will devise their own plan to deal with the Institute. But I doubt your soldiers will place any priority on rescuing the synths inside. I'm counting on you being as passionate about freeing synths as we are. Please, work with us instead.
I don't know.
Take your time. Think it over. But remember, the synth's fate is literally in your hands.
Randolph Safe House has got another dead drop for you.
Desdemona.
Please, work with us instead of the Minutemen. The lives of many synths are at stake.
I'll stick with my people in the Minutemen.
Of course I'm disappointed. But hopefully in time you'll come around. The fate of the synths depends on it.
Desdemona.
Please, work with us instead of the Minutemen. The lives of many synths are at stake.
Those vaults? You got too many teeth to be a scammer.
Sounds like those raiders of Libertalia. Quite a handful.
Bunker Hill must be dealt with, if for no other reason than to make a point.
Son.
I trust you'll resolve the situation at Bunker Hill quickly and quietly.
Hello?
Sensor anomaly detected.
Excellent.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Yes, what is it?
Have you noticed any suspicious... activity lately? Since operating...
Well done. Gear, I'm gonna guess you two are agents just like me. So, made it to the top. Is the Institute so desperate for resources that it's stealing plunder from honest, hard-working Commonwealth gangs?
Gabriel, you aren't who you think you are. You're a synth, and we're here to take you home.
Sin? What the hell are you talking about? I remember my whole life. I know where I grew up and who my parents were. Explain that to me.
I'll make this easy for you. Surrender now, or we kill you.
Okay. Okay. I could see we're no match for you guys. Just don't kill us.
Don't listen to these guys. They're messing with your head, man. Just shut the hell up. You got me? Don't say another word.
I'm sorry, sir, but I have my orders.
B592. Initialize factory reset.
Hell yeah.
Nice work, sir. I'll take it to save that.
Well done. Gear, I'm gonna guess you two are agents just like me. So,
There's a lot of blood.
That's the way you want it? Then let's...
Nice work, sir. I'll take it to save that.
All weeks and moons we could follow new. That's one way to keep out uninvited guests.
I've been waiting for you.
Yeah, the line at the car wash was super long. Took me forever.
Your attempt at humor is wasted. Our targets are inside, 4 synths under railroad protection. Majority of the settlement is uninvolved and are expected to run for cover. The situation appears to have escalated. A covert approach is likely impossible. We move in, secure the synths, and I relay out with them back to the Institute. Clear?
Hey, I'm gonna need some of your grenades. Hand them over.
Negative. You are not authorized to carry them. The mission's parameters just changed. You're going shooting. Requesting backup relay now.
Over here!
Thank you for sparing us.
You've given us another chance at life. We won't forget it. I can't believe you'd do that for us.
We'll
Thank
get
you.
somewhere safe as soon as you're gone.
Son.
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
It's not so bad, really. People manage.
Perhaps. But at a cost too great to be worth it. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
But why refreeze me?
As a failsafe, of course. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
So it was you. You let me out.
Yes. It was my decision. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. I had no idea what kind of man you were, you see. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you, as it has everything else? Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
Sean, you need to know. I still love you.
I can see that you do. Well, it's remarkable. Soon, I hope you'll understand. Everything I've done has been for the future. A future which I hope is not in jeopardy after recent events. Bunker Hill did not go well for us. Would you care to explain what happened?
It's my fault. I wasn't able to complete the mission.
I gave you this opportunity to prove yourself. Particularly to prove to the Directorate that you deserve a place here. That will now be significantly harder. There will be accusations that you deliberately sabotaged the mission. Bunker Hill was to cement your place as a valuable asset to the Institute. It will now only raise suspicions. And to see the Brotherhood of Steel involved in this? They had no way of knowing what was going on. I will refrain from sharing the outcome with the Directorate for the moment. Things are already in motion that this would only derail. Speaking of which, it's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in.
From what I hear, that rogue synth at Libertalia was a real menace. Glad it's back where it belongs.
Remember to conserve power at every
Let's
opportunity.
get this Directorate meeting over with before we speak further. It's important.
Call this a clean floor. Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the grime and dust?
Let's get this
Don't make
Directorate
excuses.
meeting over
You're
with before
clearly
we speak
defective, and I
further.
intend to report this. Perhaps after you disassemble,
It's important.
we can use your components and make something that's actually useful.
Unit X688 speaks highly of your combat skills.
Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is he doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally, things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ao has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. We're still monitoring the increased activity around Fort Independence. but there are no immediate signs we should be concerned. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Sir, are you sure this is the time to be discussing it? Given, well, considering all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
What's Phase 3?
It's very important to us. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
What kind of compromises?
We have at times had to rely on drawing power from above-ground installations. It risks personnel and equipment, but no longer. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Can you tell me more about this reactor?
Certainly. It was originally built for the Commonwealth Institute of Technology before the war, but was only for testing. Over the years, we've advanced the technology, made a great many improvements, and are finally nearly ready to activate it. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir?
Yes, Dr. Ayo. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I'm not overly fond of putting my own father in harm's way, he has proven more than capable of handling himself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
You can't be serious!
Everyone, please. I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
This can't be happening. I only just found you.
I've had the same thoughts more than a few times. But we cannot let this stop us. Our work must continue. We can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my father as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really? Seems a poor choice.
How can you possibly justify this? He isn't one of us. He isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my father has already proven himself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
My compliments on getting B592 back to us so quickly.
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once. I'm sorry, Father. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
What would it mean to be in charge?
Most divisions of the Institute are fairly autonomous. perfectly capable of functioning without intervention. Where those divisions interact, however, problems can arise. You'd lead the Directorate in setting policy, resolving disputes, and the like. There's no question that some of the Directorate and the Institute at large will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead for all of us, but for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
Busy day for you, isn't it? Well, it's about to get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go over the details. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. You're going to the mass fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us.
What's a beryllium agitator?
The details would be lost on you. No offense. The point is, it'll allow us to boost the reactor's power and get it running sooner than planned. You just keep me safe. I'll worry about the agitator.
Sounds good. I'd appreciate the company.
Not as much as I'd appreciate coming back in one piece. I don't like going above ground unless there's no other option. But here we are, with our options dwindling quickly. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and I'll meet you there.